Yo, what's good, man? If y'all hear some dings and pings, that's because I just posted some work from today's shoot. So, let me walk y'all through my day with, especially when it comes to working with a muse. Just because they are a muse does not mean you get to use and abuse your muse. You dig? So, I make sure that when I decide I want to have and work with a muse, that this muse is readily available. Um, when I get some kind of creative idea, or even for them, I make sure that I'm readily available for them as well. Let me break down what I feel like a muse should and should not be real quick. A muse is someone that's also a creative person by heart and by nature that you get along with. They understand your vibe, but don't get it twisted. Do not go out here and find you a muse that thinks just like you, has the exact same style as you, has the exact same vision as you, because you will never grow. A muse should be somebody that pushes you to another level of creativity and they are down to try new shit. Right. Don't if both of y'all's vibe are the same, you're gonna keep doing the same old shit over and over and over again. You're not gonna really progress and build a broader portfolio and body of work for your clients to see, agencies to see, so forth and so on, right? The big thing that I see with a lot of people that do pick a muse, and I'm gonna say it, they pick a muse that they are attracted to. Especially for a male photographer finding a female muse, it's okay to find this person attractive, but you should not be thirsting and wanting that person, right? Because that will severely interfere with the work. And by all means, don't be smashing your muse, man. If y'all in a relationship, you shouldn't be musing. Your muse should not be amusing you. You know what I mean? Like, separate that shit. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna be able to really create what you want to create when you know that there's some type of sexual tension there, there's a relationship there. Break all that shit apart. Do not get into all of that shit. Break that shit apart. People should be able to look at the work and be thinking, damn, are they together? How she feel so comfortable? How he feel so comfortable? It should be that dope of a vibe. Another little key tip. Don't find a muse that you feel, you know in your gut, man. In here. You know in your gut when somebody say they want to be your muse. First of all, if someone is approaching you saying they want to be your muse, ding, 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 red flag. That's a red flag already, man. Red flag already. That person 9 times out of 10, trust me when I say this, 9 times out of 10, that person that is asking to be your muse just wants to take advantage of your work. I'm gonna say it again. If they asking to be your muse, they are just simply trying to take advantage of your work, your vibe, and they just trying to get some cute ass pictures, some dope ass work for free. That's typically what happens in that situation. So avoid that. A muse should be someone you approach and be like, yo, I'm digging your vibe. I love your look. Let's sit down, let's talk. Coffee, whatever the case may be. Buy them something to eat, take them out to lunch, whatever the case may be, and just sit down and vibe. Make sure y'all mesh, but don't be meshing. You know what I mean? Don't do all that, man. That's part of the reason why the photography game is so up, especially for male photographers seeking female photographers. Some of y'all thirsty, man. Y'all need to go drink some water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, or something before y'all dive into this craft, because you cannot be thirsting after every single model, if any, that sits in front of your camera. And I will say it, because I'm not scared of the controversy. I feel like some of y'all seeking out models that you know you can't get. Clients you know you can't get in real life. And it's a way for you to get them in front of your lens, half-ass dressed, and get their attention for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever the case may be. I said it. Some of y'all thirsting after y'all's clients and it's rubbing off, and you end up being that creepy ass dude that nobody really want to work with, except for some people that don't mind getting creeped on. You know what I mean? So separate all that shit. But a muse should be somebody that you vibe with. You send them your vibe. And another key, If you working with a Muse and everything you show them, they're like, oh my God, I love it. They lying to you, man. They lying. They get away from that. I want somebody that if I show an image to them or a concept to them, they're like, nah, I'm not feeling that shit. Nah, I ain't doing that. Nah, what else we got? How about this instead? You know what I mean? It should be a bounce board. Y'all should be able to communicate and bounce ideas off of one another until you come up with a concept. Speaking of concept, put a mood board together, man. Put a mood board together, even if it's Muse work. That's great practice for one, so when you get a paying client, you know how to put the mood board together. Ask them for what I do. I ask the client for a couple of images that they are thinking about. That way it gets me now flowing with a concept and a theme to the shoot. Now from there, I put everything else together. Then I send it to them. And the way I send it to them, it's an interactive mood board, inspiration board, whatever you want to call it. It's interactive. I send it to them through text or email. They open up the link. They log in with a little PIN number. They can go in and type in nope, dope, don't like that. How about we change this? It's fully interactive. Key to that. Now the client feels part of the process. They feel like they are part of this whole, especially if they get ready to pay you and you get ready to take their money. If they getting ready to pay you, they should be part and feel like they are part of the creative process. That way, they also feel like at the end, they have been part of the entire journey and the outcome and the results. That's key. That's what's going to get people sending you referrals. That's what we all want. We already know that as photographers, we are not going to get too many return clients. We just not. Especially if you're doing certain things like boudoir, family portraits. They may hit you up once a year, Christmas, something like that. Somebody's wedding. Most likely a joker only gonna get married once if they lucky. But if they do get married twice, the second time, you may not even be in the area. They may not even be in the area when they get married again. So who's to say they ever gonna come back to you, right? So we work off referrals. So practice with your Muse. Make sure you understand how to put the Muse board together. Make sure you understand how to set the vibe up for the shoot. Make sure you understand how to get feedback from the client, model, whatever the case is. You use your Muse for that. But your Muse should not be somebody that's just gonna agree to every little thing you wanna do. But push the boundaries. And I ask everybody that wants to be a Muse or someone that I'm interested in being a Muse, what are your boundaries? What won't you do? Right? Some people into all the ropes and wax and candles and the goth, the this, the that, the witchy stuff, the whatever. Some people into that. But if you not into it, it's gonna show in the work. And same and vice versa. If you pushing them too far, it's gonna show in the work. They may agree to it because it's free, but it's gonna show in their vibe and in their face and their emotions and everything else that they not feeling what it is that you trying to push them to do. And as a photographer, you should have a great read on that. It's so many times I have asked the client to get into a pose, or they trying to work a pose, or we trying to work a look, and I can see it in their face. They are uncomfortable. And as soon as I feel it, cut everything short. Yo, hey, I'm sensing that you not really. Yeah, I'm not really. And they will tell you right away, yeah, I'm not gonna film it. I'm like, shit, come on, you ain't gotta do this for me. If you uncomfortable, tell me, bro, I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like this position. You got my hand here, and you want it. Tell me. Talk to me. Don't wait till the shoot over to tell me all this, and then you telling me all your friends and people you refer to, oh, girl, this man had me trying to do all kinds of shit. I can't. Tell me on site. Don't wait to divulge all this shit to friends. Don't do that, right? So today, me and Kat, I had something going on. She had something going on. I think she was going to get some more ink work done. We talked about, it's leather season. It's starting to cool off here in El Paso. And she was like, yo, I got a dope ass leather studded jacket. And I'm like, shit, let's do it. right? So then we coordinated what time she got off, what day she got off, this and that, and then I'm in between shoots and other engagements. And so we had about an hour and a half, right? We met up in a familiar spot. That way we didn't have to, we was gonna do it downtown, but I understood that with the tight constraints on time to find a location, get shots, walk back to, it would have took too much time. So we went right back to where we are comfortable, right back to where we know the light. I know the light. I know the vibe. Dark ass parking lot, with the parking garage, right? But it's a dope vibe. It's so many little pockets of light. Um, we set up. She did her thing. We looked at some images. We looked at this. We looked at that. Knocked out a few shots. Even some of the shots like, nah, I'm not feeling it. She like, yeah, me either, right? So we ended up moving, finding some more light. And the hardest part was the fact that it was high noon light. High noon, we all know as photographers, is tough. You don't have a lot of soft light. The shadows and contrast is all over the place because of where the sun's position is above you. So all the shadows are going to be below and weird and bright. It's so easy to blow your highlights in high noon. So I had to be very careful. It was like we was out there dancing with light and shadow. But if you know, you know. As a photographer, the sweet spot. All right. Let's get to the juice, right? She dancing, she having a good time, man. Me and Kat be vibing, man. See, she don't listen. I told her to stay where she was because I already had the camera that I had set for this frame. Then she yawning and going on. These are all, but I don't care about all that because while she doing all that getting set, I'm just taking test shots, just playing with my light, playing with my exposure, my ISO, aperture, all that stuff. So now she's realizing that the sun is bright as hell because it's noon, but we gonna make it work, right? I take a couple test shots, see how they turn out, play with my exposure a little bit, and then I take all this shit out of her hands. She had a ton of stuff in her hands, headphones, phone, vape, keys, all that. I took all that out because I wanted her hands and I wanted her to focus. If you've ever had something in your hand, you tend to fidget. And I wanted her to now start playing with the collar of that sweater, that turtleneck, to get some more expressive looks. And then I move in a little bit because I use prime. I don't have zooms. I use prime lenses. I wanted some high detail shots right here to play around with and see how the light is affecting her skin. And that way we can explore a lot of different looks. And then this right here is so key. I know a lot of photographers don't like to show the client the work. I don't know why. Because they want to see, man. They are so curious of what you're doing, how you're doing, and more importantly, how do they look, right? Because the client knows how they want to look. If you're overexposing them or you're underexposing them or they don't like the light or the way their face is, that angle with their face, their jawline, their eyes, whatever, they'll let you know, right? And then here, I want to tuck her in this corner. I want to tuck her in this corner and see if we can get some high contrast shots where that light, that shadow is really cutting hard across her face. And just to play around and get creative, man. This is the time to get creative and just play around with some shit. It may not work. This is all spaghetti test shit, right? You keep trying, you keep throwing stuff against the wall and see if it works. Some of it gonna stick and some of it ain't. But that's the whole point of having a great muse who's willing to sit here and be patient, play around, and help you out, right? Because at the end of the day, they're getting dope ass portfolio shots, and you're building your portfolio and your brand as well. So be patient, have a patient person that you use as a muse. But if this is client work, you gotta already kind of know. But this is all right here, repetition. Repetition. Now, if I get a paying client that wants to bring me out in high noon and want to do some urban style photo shoots, then I know exactly, how to play around with the light. And here, I just want her to change angles, play around with some posing, get some more drama and some more sassiness or edge to some of these photos that are just standing there looking cute, you know what I mean? Then I want her to kick her leg out. She's struggling a little bit because them tight ass britches. But I wanted her to kick her leg out right here and just have a little bit of fun. I wanted that wind. I told her before, let's let that wind do whatever it's going to do with your hair. Don't try to fix it unless it's really in the way. And we just had a great time, man. Had a great time. And then after this, we just moved spots. She stepped here, she blown out. Put her here. About a step and a half, 2 steps away from where that highlight is and where the shadow is, right? This is all shadow. Her back is to the shadow. She's facing this way. Her back is to the shadow, right? And you have her slowly walk backwards until her face is no longer getting blown out, and watch the difference. Saying her face getting blown out sounds weird as hell, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Even if you've got your histogram on or you got your highlight metering on, you'll see it as far as when the highlights on her face are now soft. You don't have nothing on her face overexposed. So anyway, we did all that. We were done in an hour. She was able to go do what she had to do. I was able to go do what I got to do for the rest of the day. And then we called it. It's that simple. But working with a Muse, it's practice, but it should be very constructive, precise practice. Practice like you play. Don't come out here with all this other shit and playing around with a Muse and thinking hee hee ha ha. No, it's work. We work it. We work it. And any Muse that just gets in front of you, they want to giggle and kiki and caca all day, you wasting a bunch of time. And if you letting them do that, it's because most likely you're attracted to her, you just want to hear her giggle. I said it. You using that as an hour date. Man, I'm here to work. I ain't got time for all this shit. You want to take you a little smoke break, you want to go sip you some coffee, smoke you a little bit of weed or whatever the case may be to get your vibe where it need to be, cool. But I am here to work. I will wait for you. I'm not finna sit here kiki and caca with you all day. I'm not. That's just not me, man. That's just not me. You found the right one. I'm not finna sit here and do it because you on my time. Time is the most valuable thing we got in this lifetime. That's why when you go to prison, they take your time. Yeah, that's why it's called doing time. Not paying fines. No, you're gonna do this time. It's the most valuable thing we got. So take advantage of it. Don't play with it. Don't play with your Muse. Don't get too amusing with your Muse, baby. Peace. Love y'all.